and welcome back to my channel. A few days back I put a picture up on Instagram telling you guys I wanted to do a Q&A and for you to leave me any questions you could think of. So that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. I'm just going to be going through those questions and answering them for you guys. I got some wedding related questions, a lot of nutrition related questions. Some people were just asking for like suggestions on different things, so I will do the best I can to answer these in the way I guess you're hoping. So the very first comment and or question I got was non-dairy food choices and family-friendly dinner ideas for people with toddlers. So as far as non-dairy food choices, there's so many options out there now. I mean, I don't know what it is, you know, the reason you're avoiding dairy, whether it's for an intolerance or just because you're choosing to. But as far as like cheese and yogurt and milk, I mean, you can buy any dairy alternative, whether it's nut-based like almond milk or coconut like yogurt, coconut milk. They have a lot of like vegan dairy-free cheeses now. The only thing with those is they are way more processed than like actual dairy itself. There's a lot of stabilizers and emulsifiers and all these just different additives they need to add to these non-dairy products to make them taste like dairy, if that makes any sense. So if you're avoiding dairy just because you think you should, that's not necessarily true. It's less processed always than the non-dairy alternatives, but if you are an intolerance or something like that, then of course those would be good options for you. The next part of that question or comment was dinner ideas for people with toddlers. It can be definitely hard to feed toddlers. I don't have a toddler, so I can't speak from experience, but pretty much what I was taught in undergrad as far as nutrition and early childhood feeding was the Ellen Satter approach, where you don't make a fuss about it, you don't really talk about food or congratulate kids for eating their food, you don't make a lot of substitutions. It's pretty much like, hey, this is what we're having for dinner, and if you don't want to eat it, sorry, you're out of luck, you can have a snack later if you're hungry. And that was always kind of the way that I was taught. If you're curious, look up Ellen Satter. She's like an early childhood feeding expert, and I really like her, her take on it. Again, I don't have kids. I don't know how necessarily well it works, especially maybe if you didn't do that from the beginning, but that's kind of my idea on feeding children and when they're young, because they can be fussy. The next question was, how many calories a day should a woman consume? There is absolutely no one answer for that question. It is completely dependent upon the individual. It all depends on how old you are, your current weight, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to maintain, if you're trying to gain. There is no one answer to that. The next question is easy and creative options for healthy snacks. There are so many healthy snack options or ideas out there, but basically what I will say is every time you're trying to have a snack, try and maximize how filling and obviously nutritious it's going to be. And the way to do that is to always mix a carbohydrate, a protein, and a fat. So for example, mixing apples with peanut butter. Apples is a carbohydrate, fruit is all sugar, so it's carbs. And then peanut butter is fat and protein, so the two of those mixed together is going to be the most optimal as far as being filling and satisfying. Another example would be like whole wheat crackers and a cheese stick. The whole wheat crackers are your carbohydrate, the cheese is your protein and fat. You could also do like crackers and hummus, fruit and nuts, things like that. So there's so many different options, but if you kind of follow that template of a carbohydrate, a protein, and a fat, it's going to be the most optimal, satisfying, filling snack possible. Any tips for trying to eat clean while in college? I feel like I'm always invited to restaurants and places where an unhealthy food is going to be. I actually did a whole video on how to eat healthy in college. I will link it down below. It's definitely worth the watch. Next question is favorite brands for running clothes or shoes. This is from Jane. She's running a half marathon in September and is having trouble finding quality and durable running outfits. Great questions. As far as shoes, through the years, I usually flip-flop between Mizuno or Asics. I always go to a running store and have them picked out for me. I talk a lot about that in my top 5 running tips for beginners video. That's definitely worthwhile to watch, Jane, if you haven't seen it yet. But as far as quality running clothing, I wear a lot of Nike. Nike shorts are probably my favorite. Lululemon is another one. It's super expensive, but their stuff is high quality and it lasts such a long time. As far as like leggings goes, I always get my leggings from Lululemon for the most part because they're just the most comfortable. So I would wear those running a lot. And then as far as like shorts and tops, pretty much Nike. That would be the other brand I say I wear the most. Next question is, do you have a wedding theme, like rustic, beach, etc.? Yes, we do. It's pretty traditional slash glamorous, I would say. Our reception at least is going to be in a ballroom. and it's very like regal and a historic hotel, so definitely more glamorous, traditional. The next question is, who would you love to collab with if you had the opportunity, or just personal favorite YouTubers? That's actually a great question. Honestly, most of the videos I watch on YouTube are more like beauty, lifestyle related, which is one of my huge hobbies. I kind of got away from that on my own personal channel and just kind of stuck more with like the health and nutrition aspect. So favorite YouTubers to watch, I love Haley Page. She's like my favorite right now. Hi Haley if you're watching this, but I'm pretty obsessed with her videos lately. I love watching her pregnancy updates, and she had a wedding series, and I'm just like loving her channel. I also love Alex Garza. She's been one of my favorite YouTubers for a while. But as far as like collaborating, there aren't many YouTubers that I've found that are like health, nutrition YouTubers that I like really align myself with. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I always tend to watch like beauty and lifestyle videos on YouTube because that's kind of like where I relax and just kind of like wind down and I enjoy watching those. I don't really watch nutrition and health ones. Maybe that's also because I'm educated in it and I'm not necessarily like seeking out information related to that. But if you guys have any YouTubers like that maybe I would potentially collab with in the future, who knows, let me know, and I'd love to check out their channels. The next question is two questions actually from Michelle Dominique 1. Where are you guys going on your honeymoon? I don't think I'm actually going to share that on YouTube. Not that anyone's probably going to come and crash our honeymoon, but just to be on the safe side, I'm not going to share it. But we are going to like a beach type place where we're going to be hanging out in a tropical environment. Are you guys saying personal or traditional vows? We are going to just be sticking with the traditional vows. We're not going to be writing our own. We're going to be writing letters to each other to open up and read on our wedding day. So that's going to be like very personal. But as far as like in the church in front of everyone, we're just going to be doing the traditional vows. Amy Quintero 9 says, what is your best advice for starting a healthy lifestyle, and do you have any tips for staying on track? I always tend to go weeks with eating clean and then I throw myself off again. Please shed some light on this for me. I need all the advice I can get. Well, Amy, I would say as far as starting a healthy lifestyle, number one, remember that it's a lifestyle. It's something that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, so it doesn't have to be something that's crazy strict and not something you can stick to. And there are going to be times where you're more indulgent or maybe don't work out as much, but that's okay. It's more so being consistent across a lifetime. That is really important. And also, I would say mindset is everything. If you're viewing, starting a healthy lifestyle change as I'm doing this for my health, I'm doing this for my future so that I'm not inundated with medical bills and managing diseases with medications and diet for the rest of my life, so that I can live a long time and see my kids and my grandkids grow up and just live a fulfilled life. I think if you look at it more so from that aspect, then I want to lose weight and I want to look better and I want to look prettier, whatever it is. I'm not sure what your reasons are for starting a healthy lifestyle, but if you're looking at it from sheerly a health perspective to better your life and prolong your life, I think that's a lot easier to stick to and be motivated versus if your reasons are more vain. What is your best advice for living a balanced, healthy lifestyle as a college student? As I mentioned earlier, I have a whole video on that. It'll be linked down below. Definitely check that out and answer that question thoroughly. Next question is, what is your opinion on carb cycling and how it should be done? To be honest, I don't know a whole lot about carb cycling. That's not really something dietitians are taught, at least not in my experience. It has to do with like some days you eat lower carb and then other days you eat higher carb, and it has to do with your glycogen stores and fat burning. But to be honest, I'm not really sure. It's not a technique I've ever employed in my daily life or recommended someone else do. I know it's really hot in like the fitness industry. I don't know if it's necessary. I think fat burning is, heavily linked to exercise and just a healthy diet in general, not so much what days you eat what. How did you choose your wedding decor for the ceremony and reception venues? Did you have a decorator or did you do it all yourself? P.S. Love you and your channel. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. So for the wedding decor, I did everything. We don't have a decorator or anything like that. It was everything that I've just envisioned, am envisioning, because the wedding has not happened yet. Basically, the idea I kind of settled on was just a lot of white and gold, and I'm gonna have like a lot of gold calligraphy like all throughout the reception, just presented in different ways. Next question is about BBG. I really want to start the BBG 12-week plan and was wondering what your experience has been so far. Are you liking it? And I would have to say yes, 100%. I am really, really liking it. If you've never heard of BBG and don't know what it is, BBG stands for Bikini Body Guide. It's from a trainer in Australia. Her name is Kayla Itsinas. and she has created this program. It's basically all revolves around a mixture of high intensity and then low intensity workouts. And I have to say, I love it. I've never worked out this consistently in my life. And I've also never worked out this hard in my life. She kicks your ass. It is so hard. The high intensity workouts literally will leave you like laying on the floor, gasping for air. And before starting BBG, I thought I was in pretty good shape. So it's definitely worthwhile. I think it's worth the money. I will say one tip. I didn't buy the nutrition guide, I just bought the workouts. You can do them separately, and if you just buy the workouts, it's only like $55, which really isn't bad for like 12 weeks of workouts. And it's about half the price if you don't get the nutrition guide. So that's up to you. Obviously I didn't get it because I'm a dietitian, I just don't feel like I need that, but that's why I didn't. But it definitely makes it more affordable. If you're really just interested in the workouts, you can just buy that. Next question is, will you be doing your own makeup for the wedding? And what tips do you have for brides who are planning on doing their own makeup? Yes, I'm doing my own makeup. I actually recently just did my trial on myself, and I love the way that it turned out. And tips for brides who are doing their own, I would say test out a ton of products beforehand and really nail down exactly what you want. Make sure you know what you're doing as far as makeup for photography. It's different than just like your everyday face. And knowing like what's going to cause flashback and what's going to last long and what's going to wear well. That's all important stuff because it's your wedding day and you don't want your makeup sliding around, or you don't want white flash in every single one of your wedding photos, ruining all of those pictures. So definitely do your research, know what you're doing, and just practice a lot and figure out exactly what you want. What is your wedding skincare regimen? I have been doing the same skincare regimen for like a year and a half now. I didn't change it for the wedding, but I think I'm going to do a video on that because I haven't talked anything about skincare for a while on my channel, and I've totally changed it up and have seen a lot of difference in my skin in a good way. So if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments down below that you want to see skincare routine, and I will show you guys. What made you start eating meat again after being a vegetarian? Great question. I don't really have an answer for you. One day I just decided I really wanted a turkey hoagie, and then I just started eating meat again pretty much. There was no like decision to start eating meat. It just kind of happened, and slowly I was like, okay, I just kind of want this again. I was a vegetarian for like 6 years. It was not like a short-term thing at all. So eventually I just kind of got to a point where I was just kind of over it, and I missed having like some lean meats in my diet, so I just started eating them again. Next question is from Demetra from If the Stiletto Fits. Hello, how are you doing, Demetra? I hope your surgery recovery is going well. But her question is, are there any wedding traditions that you are choosing not to do, and if so, why? Honestly, not really. I'm pretty sure we're keeping it super traditional. Definitely like, not spending the night together on the day before. We're not going to see each other before the church. I want the first time he sees me to be when I'm walking down the aisle. And then as far as like the bouquet and garter toss, I was kind of thinking at first that I didn't want to do it just because, I don't know, I just didn't think I wanted to do it. But there's so many single people at the wedding since I'm like one of the first ones to get married. So there will be like a lot of people to partake as long as they want to partake. But so I think that it will be something that's super fun since it will draw, somewhat of a crowd. So I'm definitely going to be sticking with that. But yeah, I don't think there's anything that we're not doing. I'm pretty sure I like to be super traditional, so definitely keeping it traditional. I don't think there's anything really that we're foregoing. Is how often do you allow yourself to have an indulgent meal, and how many days a week do you exercise? As far as indulgent meals, I don't like allow a certain amount. It really depends. Some weeks I have more indulgent meals, and then other weeks I have very few. It just all depends on how I'm feeling. I don't like to restrict myself or put any certain numbers or like regimens in place because I just have a really hard time sticking to that. So I take the more balanced approach. Some weeks are better than others as far as healthy eating. I just go off of like how my body's feeling versus what I'm craving and deciding if things are worth it or not. Sometimes they're totally worth it and I love every second. Other times I'm like, I just don't really need it right now. And then how many days a week do I exercise? Well, I'm doing the BBG program right now, so it's 6 days. I actually struggle with the low intensity workouts, always getting them in because I just don't get them in sometimes. So probably like 5 to 6 days a week now. I don't miss the high intensity workouts because those are definitely like what I'm seeing results based on, I think. So those I don't miss, but I would say like 5 to 6 days a week as of now because I'm doing BBG. Next question is from Bree B. I just graduated culinary school and will be going to school to become an RDN. Congrats, that's awesome, good luck. Any advice or tips? I have lots of videos about tips and advice and like things they don't tell you when you are going through your dietetic internship and all of those things, how to become a dietitian, what the whole process is. So definitely check out those videos. They are very informative. And her next question is, any tips about staying healthy and living a balanced life while still having fun in college? Like I mentioned earlier, I did make a video on that as well, how to stay healthy in college. It will be linked down below. Go give it a watch. And then the very last question is from Maura D. She's asking about the dietetic internship. Any application tips that you feel directors really like, or if you got any feedback. I didn't get any feedback from directors personally, but I did also do a video on this as well, how to apply to the dietetic internship. I believe it's in that video. I go through the whole process, but especially spend time talking about like the DICUS application and how to make yourself stand out as far as like personal statement and things like that. So definitely go watch that video. I give you a ton of information in that. So those are all of the questions I have for today. Thank you guys so much for submitting your questions. I had so much fun answering them. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. I will definitely have more videos coming up soon. My apologies in advance if they're not as frequent as they used to be. With the wedding coming up in like a month and a half, things are just getting a little bit cray. And I am just so ready for the wedding because I just want to celebrate and have fun and just see all the hard work come together. And I want to get married, but I am also just really looking forward to having a lot of my free time back. I don't think I realized how much time I would be spending doing little stuff along the way, and it's really starting to add up now that the to-do list is really imperative considering time is ticking down. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the love. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my wedding series. So in today's video, I wanted to strictly talk about venues and searching for your venue. I spent so much time perusing venues on the internet. I didn't spend a whole lot of time looking at venues in person, but I looked at so many online, it's crazy.